There's many things in life that makes us think. Something as simple as God's beauty. It just encapsulates us, and you can't do much more than just sit back and think, but something so beautiful would bring that moment of pause and cause a positive motion, a positive thought. It could be something as simple as me walking back here in the middle of nowhere, and you would encounter me and see me carrying around this little marshmallow. I wouldn't tell you anything about it, but I bet you that it would make you think, wonder what that man's carrying that marshmallow around. Even more than that is silence. Nothingness causes us to think. Good morning, and welcome to this week's Lively Bible Encounter entitled, Think on It or Don't. In a brief moment of silence earlier, I began to think, and there was a huge wave, a rapid, an impounding of thoughts that came in just a split second. And it set me back and caused me to think even deeper of what does thoughts do to you? Because I know what they do to me. And so in that brief half a second to a second, as I came up with this game, and it would be a trivia game of the sort called What Does It Do? And it would, if you could imagine something along the lines of Jeopardy, and you would have your star host up there and they would rattle off, what does it do? Thought number one. And they would begin to provoke these different thoughts as you're sitting in silence, and you would feel that wave of emotion or love or just a sense of peace that would come across your body. And I believe that you could resonate with that. Maybe for some of you, as you just got out of bed and you didn't want to get up, the thoughts that were overwhelming. Maybe you're home alone and just the thought of loneliness, or as you laid down last night and just the thoughts began to wave over you, and they literally encapsulate your every being, everything about you. They put you into a dark place, or they can lift you up and rise you out of the darkest of places. And so with all of that is I want to bring about one thought, one statement, and that is to control your thoughts before they control you. I've met many men and women alike that their thoughts is to their own detriment or to their own upbuilding. They're bringing up the starting of a new business, the starting of life, the progressing of life. Or quite the opposite is that it would be the start, the beginning, or the end of life as they know it. And so I've jotted down a few things as to what thoughts can do to both you and I. And just a quick list of those things is that thoughts cause this, that thoughts cause arguments, that they cause divorce, that thoughts cause suicide, hatred, both to self and to other people. Thoughts cause anger, deep rage, anger. And lastly, not lastly, but the last one I have listed is that thoughts cause more perverse thoughts. And then also on the other spectrum of that, because most of everything is twofold, right? That thoughts cause marriage, that thoughts cause unity, that thoughts cause love, life, peace, happiness, that thoughts alone can cause positive behavior. And in all of this spectrum of what thoughts can do, both positive and negative, that is where Life Meets Bible this week. And it comes out of the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 8. And it reads like this. It says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on such things. Think on such things, whatever is lovely, whatever is noble, whatever is excellent, whatever is praiseworthy. Think on these things. And rather than beating yourself down in something as simple as a thought, Yeah, even in the aspect of being in a relationship, that you wouldn't know where your significant other might be. And it's just a thought that we would think, I wonder what they're doing now. And what that thought just did is led you down a rather dark road of, well, they could be doing this and they could be doing that. And it's thoughts, rather than not developing that insecurity and instead affirming the possibility or the lack thereof and picking up a phone and say, hey, what are you doing right now? The same as is, I wonder what so-and-so is doing. Rather than just thinking on it, is that we either go out and we see them, or we pick up the phone and we say, hey, how's it going? How have you been doing? I had you on my mind. I was thinking about you. And so I just wanted to come out and check on you. Sometimes those thoughts, we need to turn them into actions, be it that they are the right thought. And go and check on our neighbor. Do what God calls us to do and love our neighbor as ourself. And that if we would want someone to check on us, that we too would go and check on someone else. But even more than that, what I want you to get out of this morning's Lively Bible encounter, being on thoughts, is that who is it that you surround yourself by? What is it that you surround yourself by? Because it's those things that we impound upon our life that ultimately causes us to be who we are. That if I all the time would surround myself by negative people, by people who like to gripe and complain and moan and groan about all of this stuff that just really is not worth giving a single thought to, then eventually I'm either going to be brought down to my lowest point, or maybe that I would become like them and cause other people to be brought down likewise. And then on the other side of that is that I would surround myself by positive thinkers, by builders, by people who want to do good all the time, by people who want to be loved by God and see other people loved by God, by people who want to get into God's Word and argue about what it really is, what is the truth of the gospel. And ultimately what happens in that, by surrounding ourselves by them types of people, is our thoughts begin to change. Our thoughts become centered on Christ. That rather than just having a thought becomes faith, that it becomes belief in God, that He can do exactly what He says He's going to do, or that He can do. And so in all of that is I want to bring encouragement to you this morning and say, cast those thoughts aside and think on Christ. Think on things that are noble and praiseworthy. As Paul wrote to the Philippians, he said, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, noble, right, pure, lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on such things. And I want to encourage you this morning to change the way you think. Just change the way you think. If it's not noble or praiseworthy, cast it out. Get rid of it. Put it to the side. Don't worry why somebody's carrying a marshmallow, because it doesn't bring glory or praise to anything or anyone. Rather, think on Christ. Think on what He has in store for your life. Quit thinking about the things that you have in store for yourself. And with that, I just want to thank you for watching and joining us this morning on Lively Bible Encounters.